possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
Just
Unscripted,
everything.
unformatted.
Unscripted, unformatted.
Literally zero
Honestly,
preparation. Not even
honestly,
a fucking discussion about what we're going to use to stream it.
nah. Who needs it, mate? Who needs it? Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Say that again. All right. G'day, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Angry Aussie Gamers. I'm your host, Thor, and I'm joined by co-host Azure, Gronsky, and we have got the guest today, FierceDeity, aka JB. How we going, gentlemen?
Good,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Good,
Look at that.
How are you?
Mate,
Look at the guns.
I'm doing good. Yeah. JB works out, mate. I don't know if you've noticed. But
They're
it looks
pasty,
good.
they're
Look at
pasty,
that.
but
Whoa.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's 21 inches, mate, has got nothing on it.
The pythons.
The python.
Ooh.
Gadoosh. All right.
Yeah, I've lifted weights for a while now.
Yeah, how long have you been lifting, mate?
Well, like I think it was since I was like 21. I haven't always lifted them well, but I think it was like my ex-girlfriend at that time was real mean to me about my weight because I was super fat, and I was like, so I got like revenge fit. You ever hear of that?
Revenge fit.
Yeah.
I got revenge
That's
fit.
why. Fuck that bitch. No, fuck.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I slimmed down a little bit, and then like, have you guys seen that movie, the Jim Carrey movie, Yes Man, where you just got to say yes? Yeah, I
Yep.
had one of those days, and this friend of mine, she said she was going to go and get a nipple piercing. She's like, "Do you want to come? Do you want to get yours done?" So I was yes manning it that day. So I was like a bit chubby, and then got a nipple piercing. I was like, "That's the final straw. I've got to get proper thin because you can't have a nipple piercing and be overweight. Like that's a fact." Thoughts?
I was
You just
well,
look like
yeah, I
Stardew
was
from
wondering
300.
where the
Unless you're unless you're an Egyptian prince or wherever he's from, I don't care.
Actually, yeah.
well, yeah, I was wondering how like nipple piercings and bodybuilding sort of linked in, but I actually, yeah, I guess I see where you're coming
You can
from now.
attach the
Yeah.
weights onto the ring.
Yeah, work that one
and just
out.
do it that way. It's a great way to really work your pecs.
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how Terry Crews, like, you know, can control his chest. You know, he just hangs weights
just
off his
nipple
nipples and
piercings
just contracts.
Oh, I think he
No,
uses
man.
clamps though, doesn't he?
I'm telling you, he learned how to do that from when he was like massively addicted to porn. It's all the muscles, like you figure out new ways.
Just
Do
all
you know-
the fidgeting.
do you
No, I had
guys
no
know
idea.
that Terry Crews, like, admit his own words, used to be a massive piece of shit.
Yes,
No,
I
like,
have,
no,
I have
no, it.
actually. Yeah, I did see the
Yeah,
interview,
yeah.
man, where he actually did go
Blazed it
quite
out.
raw with his information, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's had a very interesting life to say the least, and he recognizes, you know, where he's gone wrong and what he's done.
Turned around. He did.
Yeah.
He did the right thing. He got ahead of it and started admitting it on talk shows before people found out. That's the
how you
key.
handle that stuff.
gotta
Yeah,
get
That's how you
Yeah,
handle
You gotta
it.
do
Yeah.
it. Get it
Which
out
is
there.
what
You've
I'm
got something that can be
doing
used
today.
against you.
That's what you're here for
This
today,
is
yeah.
my next statement. I am a war criminal.
Don't look in my basement, or do.
No.
One or the other.
Just,
Don't.
just pulls out like a massive fucking A4 sheet of paper just full of like all the things he's done wrong. July 7th, 2007. I saw this kid. I kicked him.
Kicked him and then I sent him to the
I
Iraq
framed
War.
Ivan Milat, something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
man.
hell.
Actually, speaking of Ivan,
Oh, here we go.
my first girlfriend, right? Her mum, was like our age back in Ivan Milat's prowling time. I don't know, what do you call it? A career? I don't know what they call it in serial.
Well, I mean, he was a
Boy,
career
it's
criminal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you know.
impressive. When Ivan Milat was like active, she was like a young woman like hitchhiking on that highway, like it's wild. And then she stopped because of, like all these people went missing and shit. But man, like talk about just being in like a place in that's now got like an ominous history about it. Like that's crazy. I think about that stuff all the time. There's like Reddit threads about it. People that went to like the parties of you know, these biker dudes that turned out to be serial killers and shit like that. I love stuff like that.
Crazy, isn't it, when you think about, you know, the guy next door, man, could legitimately have 10 bodies in the freezer. You'd never know. Well,
Yeah,
if they're
I
good at what
actually
they're
had a
doing, you'd never
moment
know.
like I went to
no,
Darcy's house the other day. I had the exact same feeling. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Azure, but if there's anybody,
I don't
that
hide it
puts
though,
in the
mate.
Freezer, it's fucking you. Out of all
Fucking-
of us.
Don't out me, mate. Don't out me, all right? Don't go in the shed.
So,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
talking about
Show me your hands. Show me your
talking
hands.
about show me, yeah,
I only got one
bloodstained
hand.
hands. My hands are
So-
green, mate. You know, because I've been mowing the lawn.
I cleaned them. There's no
Yeah.
blood.
Clean.
the bleed.
Darcy's got workers' hands. He's a little bit.
I got
more
workers'
barbarian.
hands. Yeah, I work hard, man. I work hard.
Fuck
Yeah.
off, you do. Show me your hands. Let's see 'em.
My old man was.
Oh, you can't because of the green screen, mate. It'll just make my fingers disappear. I can't show you. Sorry.
Dainty baby hands pop up like half the size.
Yeah. So I got
Baby
used to
hands,
you-
mate. How about fucking baby face? Jesus Christ.
I
Regret
actually
like
like it.
no, shaving my
You
beard was the
look alright.
biggest mistake I ever did.
Unpopular opinion. I
Nah.
actually like it. No
Nah.
shit. No
Unpopular.
sarcasm.
It's very unpopular, mate.
You look like an egg with a face.
I do look like an egg with a face, don't I?
Got
It
him.
looks shocking.
Got him.
Do you know?
Got him. Got
I'm gonna get
him.
all of you. Don't worry. I'm gonna get to all of you. I'm establishing dominance.
That's his actual plan, like up on the wall. It's like how to establish dominance on the podcast. First,
Just
admit
be
to every
kind
wrongdoing
through
I've ever done, and then like start
And then
with yeah,
attack.
start with
Then attack
start
the
with
host.
me.
Go
Let's
for
go.
the
Attack the
throat.
host.
Yeah.
By the end of this, this will actually be fucking FierceDeity featuring Angry Aussie Gamers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
no.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
actually
it's
on board
coming.
with that.
Send me
I,
your
for
stream
one,
keys.
embrace our fucking overlord. Let's
I,
go.
for one, embrace our supreme leader.
That's you're pulling the old Dennis Rodman to Kim Jong Il move. That's
Yeah,
good.
mate.
Yeah.
Was that Il or
Yeah.
Un? He went over and hung out with Un, didn't he? Though, was it? Yeah,
I think
big
both.
into big into
Actually, I think it's
basketball.
both.
Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman.
It was
No,
Un.
sorry, that was funnier in my head. Scratch that. You can edit that out.
Scratch
Uh,
that,
you
edit
need
that one.
You need that if you're going to be a dictator. You need your useful idiots.
That's it. That's it.
Useful.
Useful.
What was
Well,
that?
we're not
It's a
useful
nice
though, mate.
podcast.
You know, yeah.
You got a dictatorship? You need some idiots? We're it.
Sorted.
We're it.
yeah.
Want to start your line to supremacy? Come onto this fucking talk show. We'll get you started.
Yeah, this is the start of.
World domination is just a podcast away.
Yeah.
Well, not well. I don't know about that. I feel like Rogan did it about 80 years ago, and now we're all just here. Like everyone's podcast gets like 12 downloads, and then there's like
That's
4
true.
The rest.
Ah,
Oh,
12
we
is
did have
generous.
that too. Man,
Mate, if we
yeah.
get 12, if we get 12 downloads, man, I'll be fucking happy.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's
100.
it's a loser's mindset.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
Nah, no.
Losers,
losers
yeah. Such a
Something
defeated
I only-
mindset, mate.
See, now, I'm not on the same level as these two. Like, we're straight up getting a million. Have you fucking seen how beautiful we all are?
My boy.
Like,
Oh,
let's
Yeah,
fucking
who
go.
could say no
Hey,
to this? Who could
I'm
say
an
no?
egg with a face, though, apparently.
And the white
And
background with the
Yeah,
random.
you're an egg with
Yeah.
a face.
Yeah.
I'm an egg with a face.
I'll go get the
Azure
shaver and
kinda
I can just be an
looks
egg
like-
with a beard.
Azure
Do it,
looks
you
like
won't.
it's been put
Do
in
it.
One of those cubicles
I'll
where
do it.
people farm cam girls. You know those buildings, like you're in one of those cam girl factories. Like there's a girl
Stop
behind me on
fucking
the other
outing
side
me.
of the wall, just like finger bashing herself right now,
Oh my god.
and you're just in here talking to us. Like
Of all the
suck
list, okay. The list of
Bronky
things
does
that
look like the
Darcy said he
manager of
couldn't say
like
on
Spank
screen.
Brothers or something, you know, spankbrothers.com. Fucking Gronsky's the head manager.
100. Boy, stop outing me.
That's why he's got the curtain, mate. Don't look
That's
behind
it.
the curtain.
Don't look
So,
behind
yeah.
it.
So,
I couldn't continue. Oh,
Don't split
Going,
the curve.
going, yeah. Remember TOS, boys. Going back
Yeah.
about 10 minutes ago. Going back on age a little bit here, mate. You know what got you into? Well, how old were you first, JB, when you got into gaming, mate?
Oh, thank God he said gaming. I didn't know where that was going for a second.
How old were you when you had your
What?
first one?
Cam girling, mate. How old were you, mate, when you started in OnlyFans?
For, when did it first come out? When did it hit? It's Super Nintendo. That was the first console. I
Super
think it
Nintendo,
was
okay,
Like
yep.
a classic story of Mario All Stars that Christmas. Do you remember, did you always guys have like that?
Hell,
Christmas?
Mario All Stars had all the games in it. Didn't it? Had about
I
3 or
did.
4 games of Mario. Yep.
Yeah.
literally never had a Christmas. Can you describe?
That
it
was
to me?
on. Oh no, that was on SNES. Yeah,
If you
yeah.
go
I
and
it
pop
came
the
out on NES
cubicles
as well.
Down the road, there's probably a girl doing the Christmas theme now. You can check it out.
I like how that's yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh my
Santa
God.
Claus gonna come. Yeah. So smashed.
Fucking
I
hell.
fell in love with it. There's something about it I loved. I don't know if it was just my monkey brain as a child. It's quite colorful and rewarding, and the sounds and whatnot sucked me in. But really, basically, I was raised by a Nintendo 64. Can't
Yep,
remember when I got 64, but got Madden 64 and played that to death.
I think
for,
we
like,
were all
7
raised on the
months.
64, weren't we? You know,
Yeah.
that's what got me into ice hockey, man. Wayne Gretzky's 3D ice hockey
Yeah. I
back
had
in the day,
NHL
you know, and that's what.
96.
Yep.
That
Well,
shit
that's
was
what got me
fire.
into
Let's
ice
be
hockey.
fair.
That's why I ended up
100.
supporting the Ducks. It wasn't the Disney movies that got me into it. It was fucking the N64 man that got me into it, and that's
Man,
how I got into the Ducks, and that's how Paul Correa ended up being my favorite player.
That's right. Old Paul Correa. I would just like
number 9,
I
baby.
created the entire Ducks movie cast onto NHL 96, put them in the Ducks, like created them all. And it was hard, man, because I had to watch the movies and like pause and write down their like surnames and numbers and stuff. Then I'd go to NHL 96 and clear out the rosters and put all these kids and then fill out the numbers, which whoever the best players were, I just go by rating. It's all these weird names like Jaromir Jagr and things like that. Like it's like how I got to know all these players. So like all these players and stuff were just names on a sheet. And then when I started, thankfully, like when I started playing hockey DAS, like I had like all that to talk about. Like I knew the 90s
You
players
knew,
really well.
yeah.
Who the best were because I like had them all on this team with fucking the actors from the Mighty Ducks films.
Yep.
But, yeah. So that was the Super Nintendo, and it was just like there was NHL 96. I think I probably was the most attracted to Mario Brothers 3, the map one. You're familiar with that?
That was the map, and that was when Mario finally brought in the ability to fly and everything, wasn't it? You got the leaf. Yeah, that was actually my favorite as well.
It's huge. I'm a fan of I'm a fan of Mario 1, which is just a run right and jump and don't die and stuff like that. But man, Mario 3, my imagination just went crazy. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, that was kind of like next level compared to 1.
It was a step up, wasn't it, man?
Real spicy.
And then when Mario came out on the 64, man, with those, sweet 3D graphics, like that was life changing.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. The 64 was like, so we used to like, I played GoldenEye recently, made a YouTube video out of it, and realized that when I was a kid, this was the best looking fucking thing. And then I had this thought that it was like, then there was like Witcher 3 was the last game that made me go, holy fuck, they can never do better than this. And then like Red Dead 2 came out, which visually is stunning. And I kept thinking, it was like, what are they going to actually do? How can they possibly, I keep saying they'll never make it as good, better than this. And they always do. So, but no, I think
Zuckerberg's doing it right now.
Yeah,
he's making the metaverse. That's where it's going.
The problem with that is it's just going to be there's going to be a certain amount of people allowed to make video. Imagine how horrible the world would be like without the indie developers and stuff. Like if that all gets shut down because of reasons, we're just going to be playing FIFA. There'll be 2 games, Fortnite and FIFA, and that'll be it.
At least you'd,
yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, anything. Yeah, well, they're only punching out the same.
Yeah,
the same game, redefined, super high definition. They're not coming out with any new GTAs, man. They're just literally pumping out the same games.
What do you need to come out with a new game?
Hey, they don't need to do anything anymore.
Brings you in like $100 billion a fucking week.
Yeah.
What is it about that? Is it the RP thing that exploded, or what is?
So the roleplay exploded, and also you've got as well fucking all of the other stuff on the GTA Online itself.
It's pretty awesome to be fair, but I mean, it's been 5, 6 years.
Yeah, it's
longer. I'm sure of it. Yeah,
it's accessible for all ages and demographics. That's what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Get them like so wholesome.
Yeah, because I was
wholesome
playing
GTA,
fucking 2013, and there's kids at work still playing GTA. Fucking 5 and going crazy over it. Like, this is the best thing in the world. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
Play a different game.
I can dig that if it was your first. I mean, if it's your first time. I still
Yeah,
remember
well, I
when
played
Grand
San
Theft Auto
Andreas.
3 drops. Yeah, when that all like Vice City and San Andreas, it was like fucking. I can do anything I want.
Yep.
Well, GTA 1 and 2 was that bird's eye view, like the old Simcity looking fucking, and you sit there in the middle just going, just spinning in circles with like the fucking submachine gun or something with the dots. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I love
Well,
it. I love seeing the journey.
And then
like,
3 was the first real jump into that 3D technology
that's
of,
right.
of
I fucking
gaming.
hate
And
Hungary.
I mean,
So
Vice
good.
City, man, like you just jump on Vice City, do the fucking gun cheat, and just cruise down the main boulevard, just smoking the whole boulevard. That's all I ever did.
That's all I did in
Like-
San Andreas.
Down the street,
Mm.
my 6 fall.
now.
But
You know, there's other people that have hip hop on the stream. Where this leads.
you know, I mean, yeah. Look, when are they going to bring out a new one? I guess is $1 million question. But
Well,
like you
it's
said,
gonna
if,
be
if the
too.
online stuff, well, we got banned from online for like 2 days because here's the thing with Grand Theft Auto, right? Like, Grand Theft Auto is all about jumping out of the car, smacking people, grabbing cars, and fanging it down the sidewalk. So what did we do? We went and punched doughies in front of the cop shop. We went and run over some people on the fucking sidewalk. Next thing you know, man, we got cops pursuing us down the highway. So we're yelling, "Suck my butthole, coppers," out the window.
As you do.
We nailed a copper on a motorbike. He fell off and died. And then when we got arrested, Gronsky went to jail. I went to jail shortly after, and then we copped a 2-day ban.
Boy, no.
How did you get a
That's
2-day
not what
ban?
happened.
The fuck did
That's
you
not
do?
what happened.
Got a 2-day ban for mowing down pedestrians.
That's
Wait
not
up.
it. What-
Wait
it's-
up.
Hmm.
Isn't that what it's all about? Like, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that Grand Theft Auto was to fucking like. I had to get my law degree in Grand Theft Auto and be a law-abiding citizen. I
No,
play that
I
shit
think
so I
you're
can
censoring
smack
it.
out. Nah, I'm not censoring it, man.
What
I
actually
need-
happened after we ran over the cop on the motorbike was we decided, you know what? We're already in the shit. The cops are already chasing us. Let's go and rob a fucking house. So we
Oh,
were
that's
robbing some
right. We
dude's
did rob
house.
the house.
We were robbing some dude's house. Anyway, the cops come through.
Yeah, that's
and
right. We did.
One of them just decided that he'd run balls deep. So I shot the dude in the face and killed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
On
We
GTA Online, and you got
this
banned for
that
2
did
days.
happen. Yeah,
so I
yeah.
shot him in the face.
Are you talking on Twitch or on GTA?
No,
GTA.
GTA server. We got banned.
Fuck off, you got.
We got banned
You
from the
must have,
server.
Like,
Nah.
shouting the N-word or some shit.
Apparently,
No. We got banned, man.
RP. Apparently, we
What the
failed to
fuck?
roleplay, and I was like, "What do you mean we failed to roleplay? We're fucking
Oh, it
criminals."
was on an RP.
We're role
Oh,
playing
and-
and fucking maniacs.
Well, no, it was RP. Look, it was RP, and we were role playing. But no, mine came up that I was banned for mowing down the pedestrians on the sidewalk because it was like a
Oh,
large
that's
group of them
right.
all hanging out, and I just
Yeah,
drove
you
straight
got
into them,
driving.
going like a
You got
buck
driving.
20.
You got banned for VDM. Vehicle
I don't
know what I got
matching. Fail RP. And I was like,
That's
"Yeah, right." It was pretty
fucking
dog
dumb.
shit.
Yeah, no,
That's
I got
dumb.
banned for mowing
Oh,
people
yeah.
down, man.
And I got banned while I was in jail.
It was only 2 days though, man.
That's
I-
unfair. You
But
couldn't-
I never went
Couldn't
back to it
even
again,
defend
man.
myself.
Were you given a public attorney? Like, what's the
Should've
where's the due process?
Nah, mate, there was
Yeah.
no public attorney. Well, I got to
Yeah.
get a defender. I just went straight to jail. They're like, "Nah, fuck you. Like, we've got evidence that you shot 2 cops." And I was like, "That's a bit weird, mate. How do you
Like,
know
let's
it's me?
see
Because
it."
I killed them both."
Yeah. There were no witnesses. I killed them too.
Yeah, I killed them. Like, how do you know that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which server was this? Was this the big one? Was
I
it
can't
the
remember.
big-
Nah, I mean it was a big roleplay
Bluebird.
server, but I can't remember, dude. Nah, it wasn't Bluebird.
Yeah, it was.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't Bluebird. It was another
Yeah,
one.
it fucking was, mate.
Bluebird's generally pretty chill,
Bluebird
was it?
RP.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
It was the big
I'm
one.
sure it wasn't. I don't think it was.
No, it
I'm
was.
pretty sure it was another one.
Bluebird
It was one of the other bigger ones.
Bluebird.
Wasn't it like
RP, fuck
Sunshine
you.
Coast or something?
The official position of
No,
the.
mate. Sunshine
Wow,
Coast
dude.
is a
Ah.
shithole in Melbourne.
No,
Yes,
it was a
no.
fucking server, man. There was a server called like Sunshine Coast or something. Anyway, it doesn't
No,
matter.
it was definitely Bluebird RP.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not going to get invited to play on any of those servers now.
You're
no, it's
guilty by
fine. It's
association, mate. You're
That's it
done.
now.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
done.
really?
You don't want to anyway.
It's all over for
Oh,
you,
Get
mate.
their list. You should have seen what they did on the stream when they fucking had their list of just like, if I get all this out of the way, then you can't use it against me. It was
That's it.
horrendous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Away.
So we started this, mate. You know, we're just going to get rid of everything that we've done bad and like go from there.
Assert dominance. Yeah.
It's
Assert
gonna take,
dominance.
Like, an EMP to get rid of our Google histories. Like we were in the no seatbelt era of the internet, boys.
Yeah, mate.
This is true. This is true.
I don't know. I
The no
found
seatbelt era of the internet.
This is what it is. Like in 10 years, like your kid, like you know how your parents talk about drink driving, like we just whatever, like we know
Oh,
we
we
didn't have
just
too
used to
much.
do it. Yeah.
Just used to do it.
Yeah.
Let's be like,
No one really cared.
Yeah, it was
The
all
cops just
right.
used to pull you over and they just tell you, where are you going? I'm just going home. Where's home? Oh, it's just up the road. All right, well, don't let me see you again.
Yeah, it's before the cops came in and started revenue raising, and you're like, all right, man.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
All right. That'll be the internet one day. They'll be like, you could do what? What hub? Actually, no, that was like, it was like the pre-P hub.
It was
And
before
like,
that,
you were
yeah.
just at the mercy of the Google search. Kids don't know these days.
Well, we had
to
even
be at the
earlier, man.
mercy.
We had what? Ask Jeeves. Whatever happened to
Yeah,
Ask Jeeves?
Well, there were no
Yeah?
stars either. Like, you just had to type what you thought in your head.
That's it. There was no
Ah.
predictive text either, mate.
Like, do I like brunettes? Let's see. Let's find out.
What's
Do I like brunettes or blondes? I'll find out. See, I was like raised. I raised myself. This is why things are the way they are. Pretty
I'm
good.
just picturing
Yeah,
like
Pretty
a
good,
broadband
yeah.
connection.
I came through it. Came through it all right. No, it's
Yeah.
funny. Growing up, it's cool. We've got to see, coming back to video games, like it's awesome to have seen things go from Mario Brothers 1 to Red Dead 2 to the ridiculous. Like, I didn't fall in love with New World, but you can't deny the epic scope of it. It's awesome.
Yeah, look.
Well, I mean, you go back to that, you know, really the beginning, man, and the beginning was games like Ultima Online, you know, like that was the beginning of the MMORPG dominance.
Sounds like weeb shit.
Because Ultima, man, fucking started, mate, and then World of Warcraft came in, and then you had
World of
other
Warcraft
games
was
like what
fucking
Guild
insane.
Wars and RuneScape, you know, all these other games, man, and that was really. That was it, man. The seed was planted, and these games just started taking off, dude. The
phrasing.
I like phrasing.
Yeah, the seed was
Phrases.
planted, mate, you know?
Seed was planted.
Seed was so.
Seed was planted. So, you know,
Yeah,
from
so-
there, man, it just started going nuts. And then all of a sudden we started like, you know, they started looking at it and going, well, shit, if we can have people running around with fucking swords and shields, why can't we have people running around with guns? You know, and then we started getting Call of Duty and Battlefield Online.
Like, RuneScape started it all, actually, if we want to be fair.
Yeah, what's the go with RuneScape?
Wow, stuff.
Ultima Online was out before RuneScape, mate. Ultima Online goes back. If you want to go back, if you want to look at Ultima's lineage, Ultima was even earlier as a single player game. Pull it up.
Oh, I gotta put push to talk on for one.
Like Ultima Online came out in what, 97? Yep, September 97 was when Ultima Online came out. Ultima came out in about the 80s. Ultima was like on the old Commodore 64 and shit.
Apparently, RuneScape came out the 4th of January 2001.
No, that was when it was actually called RuneScape itself.
What was the original?
I can't remember what they originally called it, but that came out in like 92 or some shit. Some fucking like little DOS.
Hang on, I'll find it.
Yeah, Ultima
Bloodhound.
came out fucking long before that. Like there was like Ultima, I think what Ultima 9 Ascension was the last one before they went to online. Ultima was on the fucking SNES as well, actually. SNES and NES. Having said that though, man, Lufia was probably the ultimate fucking RPG back on the SNES.
How come he's never heard of it, but he's heard RuneScape?
I'm pretty casual. Heard of RuneScape, haven't heard of Ultima, any of them.
Mate,
Yeah,
Ultima Online was in the Guinness World Book of Records, mate. So you fucking tell me.
It's
Biggest
Guinness World
MMORPG.
Record.
Yep, Guinness Book of World Records.
No one reads that shit. We're not fucking 12 years old getting the book out.
We're going down to the
No
pub,
one's
mate.
reading the Guinness
Going
Book of
down to the pub. Fuck it. John's got it in the back of his car. Let's go.
He probably fucking does too.
Pub facts.
He would. Oh, you want to know something, boys?
Yeah, I was like, no, we've got the internet now. Fuck off.
We got
That's
the internet now.
Kids have like overtaken us. You have no
Well, that was
idea,
the
like,
thing
they
back
learn
in the
so much
day, man. I mean, like, when we were going through school, how many of our fucking teachers are like, you'll never have a calculator on you at all times. You got to learn maths. We've got more than a calculator.
Checkmate.
Ultima Online, apparently, according to the MMORPG rankings, is the oldest.
Oof.
97.
There you go.
Making a big F there, mate.
years old or years it was released. How old?
1997.
It was in 97 was when it was released, yeah. It's still going.
Yeah.
But
Let's
the
talk
player
about-
base is 1/10.
Let's talk about the late 90s because that was like peak childhood for me. Like 1998, it was like the goal. Like I think Ocarina of Time was well out by then. 64, like 64 was swinging. The PlayStation 1 was swinging. Wrestling was in full swing. The Essendon Bombers were winning football games. It was just a magical time. It was just magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ocarina of Time, man, another one, you know, like, you can go back and trace Zelda's lineage, obviously, to consoles previous, but Ocarina of Time was really what launched Zelda into the,
so
I don't say mainstream, you know what I mean? Like, Ocarina of Time just went off.
Ocarina of Time, I'm pretty sure, like, Banjo-Kazooie came out then, too.
Yep, Banjo-Kazooie.
Man, read it out, because it reads like a goat list. 1998. It's crazy. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, fucking StarCraft.
I was going to say, going over to the PlayStation, you had, like, Banjo, you had,
oh, man.
Yeah. Well, when did,
Sonic Adventure, fucking Tomb Raider 3 came out in 98 as well.
When did Final Fantasy 7 come out?
Oh, Spyro the Dragon also released in 98. So there we go. And Abe's fucking Oddworld Exodus, mate.
Yeah, Abe's Odyssey, man, was fucking
Unreal
nuts.
Engine was also released in 1998.
Interesting. You could trace a lot of people's video game lineage back to one of or more of those games.
The
Crash Bandicoot,
another one. The South Park game was also released in 1998.
Right. And they didn't release a
what game was that?
It was literally just called South Park.
Yeah, it was the first.
Yeah, and that was the first person shooter. Yeah. But then they had South Park Chef's Aid or whatever come out as well.
Yeah, something like that. Pokemon Yellow came out on Game Boy in 98.
I mean, how revolutionary was fucking Game Boy, mate? You could take your gaming with you. It was unreal.
What else? Like, this is a pretty goated list.
It's pretty disgusting.
Red and Blue came out at the same time.
First ever, like F1 World Grand Prix games also came out in 1990.
The beginning of the simulation.
Okay.
Yeah,
the simulation. Yeah.
Because,
well, when did SimCity come out? SimCity was out earlier on the SNES.
I think by 98, I think The Sims itself was actually swinging dick on PC.
Yeah, SimCity was on SNES, so SimCity would have been early 90s.
Came out in 89, apparently.
Jeez,
89. God damn.
That's when
The Sims 1 came out in 2000.
2000. So what? Yeah, so what, 89 did we just say that SimCity came out?
1989.
And what, 2000? So 11 years later, man, we had proper...
Sims game, yeah.
We went from little blocks with like a C and an I fucking, you know, for the block that they were on, like industrial or commercial, residential. We went from that and placing little pixelated roads in 11 years to a full-blown 3D house building real world simulator.
Fucking character, yeah, exactly. Like ridiculous shit, mate. Ridiculous. Yep. And then you pull the like 2015 and you got like Cities XL Platinum. And shit.
Then you had Age of Empires come out, man, you know? Like, Age of Empires was...
Yeah, it was Age of Empires 2, 98 as well, because people are still playing that game. What year was Diablo 2? That was 98 as well, I think.
Diablo 2 would have been around the same time. I actually spoke to one of the devs on Diablo, and I asked him if anybody, like, if they took anything from Ultima Online. And he said not specifically, like, they didn't sit down and go, wow, we must have this look or this feel about Ultima. But he said, actually, a lot of the devs for Diablo 2 at the time were all playing Ultima Online in the office. Which was quite interesting.
Diablo 2 came out in 2000.
Oh, that's later.
And Age of Empires 2 came out in 1999.
Ooh, so it's around that time.
Yeah, mate.
Disgustingly good list.
Late 90s.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be honest, but from 98 to like 2002, that's the most goated list of games that you will ever find ever. Like there's nothing else.
Don't know what it was, but
everyone.
It just exploded like these days because it's like kind of easy to make. There's a lot more games, but it's just hard to find.
They don't have the same quality, do they? They don't have
find the one. Give one the time to like. I ran around Hyrule Field, Ocarina of Time. I ran around Tamina and Majora's Mask. I don't know how many times because I only had a certain amount of games. Like I didn't just have it all at the fingertips. So you actually, this is where speedrunning was probably born. The real bored kids, like. Just figuring out how to pass through walls and shit, but that's what you did. You mucked around in a game and seeing like if you could get to areas and all that bullshit because there was just like 12 video games in the world and all of them were great, but you just had the ones you had. So you needed to have that. Like I was real smart about it. Like I picked my best mate, so I had the 64, so I picked a best friend with the PlayStation. Like you gotta be smart.
That's a big brain move. I like it.
I pretty much did that throughout my whole life. Just cherry picking friends who've
Yeah.
got cool shit that I can't.
I had a
afford.
cousin who had the Nintendo series, and I had a mate who had the Xboxes, and that was all I needed
Yeah, hell yeah.
throughout my whole teenage years. I had the PlayStations, I had access to everything else. No worries.
The dream.
So, like,
But
the
they're in dire generation as well, man. Like, how good was a Friday night after school? Order some fucking Pizza Hut back then, because Pizza Hut reigned supreme.
couch,
Now,
yeah.
obviously, Domino's have done it. You grab your Pizza Hut, you get your big fucking you get your big bottle of Pepsi, you get your
Domino's?
fucking
Did you just like? Did Domino's
your garlic
win?
bread.
There's still Pizza Hut.
Oh no,
remember
man! I don't
back
eat fast food like that anymore, man. I go to a
in the
proper
day
pizza
when
shop
you used
these
to be able
days,
to
mate.
go to Pizza Hut and get fucking PC games. Like, I'm
all
pretty
you can
sure-
eat.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
all
let's
you
go
can eat,
look at
that's probably
like
the
Kellogg's,
game.
man. Kellogg's Nutrigrain. You buy a box of Nutrigrain and you got fucking Age of Empires in there.
Yeah, that's how I got Age of
That's
Empires.
right.
That's how, yeah.
I remember years and years ago, fucking first time we ever went to like a fucking all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut, which these days they're actually very rare.
They are very rare. Yeah. I think there's still one on Main Street in Sydney, and I think there's one down here in Tassie, man, in Hobart.
There's
Yeah,
only
just
one
on the
down
outskirts of
there.
Only
Hobart.
one left in Melbourne here.
Yeah.
But so
Tassie.
fucking, I went in there. We got your all-you-can-eat. I got fucking the Simpsons Hit and Run, bro.
Oh,
That was the game
Oh,
I
That was a banger.
that was a banger.
My two choices were either that or it was like Medal of Honor. Fucking
We're not
Sing
worthy.
Medal of Honor. And I was
Lovely.
like, nah, bro, I'm going straight for this fucking
Dude,
hit, the
Simpsons
Hit
Grand
and
Theft
Run.
Simpsons Hit and
That's-
Run.
Yeah, it was just Grand Theft Auto, but Simpsons skinned. Fucking
Bro,
Yep.
it was
glorious.
That was
goated.
god
It
tier.
was a goated game. That is like, that's so far up in the god tier list. It's not funny.
Yeah, I've got that queued up on my list of. It's almost there because I just smashed my computer with all the good emulators I could find, just
Oh,
collecting all these old games. GameCube, man, Simpsons Hit and Run. There it was.
I've still got my original like fucking CD for it. It
Dude.
don't
I think I've got it
work.
on the PlayStation too. Yeah.
Don't work. Windows 10 fucking hates it, but
Right. Dang.
it's like
Yeah, the DS
Scarface.
version.
That was good. But long gone are those days, man. You don't go over to your mate's house anymore and punch fucking 6 hours of like Super Smash Brothers or GoldenEye or Mario Kart or Mario Party. And the Switch has done relatively well to bring a lot of that back, but bring that couch multiplayer feeling back. But those days of gaming, man, are just
You
gone.
don't do it. I do. I've got a mate that I go and see all the time. We still smash out fucking shit like that, bro.
no
on the
friends,
64.
Darcy.
Yeah.
No friends.
No,
no
yeah,
friends.
just outed myself as no friends.
What are
Yeah.
you talking about, mate? I'm hanging out with my mates all the time.
Yeah, we straight, yeah. We just start up like fucking whether it doesn't matter what it is. Like could be like original Crash Bandicoot. We'll just get as pissed as we fucking can and see
Fucking
how far
go
we can
for
get
it.
into the game, mate.
Yeah,
Speedrun it, yeah.
Yeah.
and then you get to the bridge and then just question your life.
Yeah, exactly. Because you sit there for 16.
Did
hours,
anybody
fucking
get that on,
fucking
like-
shit.
Did anyone get the remake on PlayStation 4? Is it just me, or in that first episode when you're trying to get 100%, in that first time that you go in at the end of the level, there are boxes that you got to jump on and jump forward as they break under you.
But I never
Did,
played the
like-
originals. I've only played the.
Oh,
remakes.
okay, yeah.
Oh,
See, no,
right.
that felt way more touchy than the original, man.
Mm.
Yeah, but I
The
think
original
it's
just
supposed-
felt like it was way easier.
I think it was
Maybe just
supposed
have
to
a touch.
be like that.
I'm just old, mate. Yeah, old,
Yeah,
and.
mate.
Back
Yeah,
in
you
my
used to-
day, I used to
you used to
play
be
with a
like-
fucking controller that had 30 millisecond fucking input.
If you
Input
gave-
lag
if
used
you
to be
gave a
10
child-
seconds back when I was a kid.
I'm pretty sure if you gave a kid these days a Nintendo 64 controller, he'd develop PTSD by looking at it. It'd be too.
100%.
I still think they're the most comfortable controller, man. And I get called out on it all the time. No, I fucking love it. I love 'em.
Ergonomic, that's what it is.
Yep.
It's all about
Yep.
bring 'em back, mate.
And you got to hold it on the middle and the right hand side. None of this left hand, right hand bullshit. It's got to be the middle and the right.
Mate,
I
you
That's
held
how
it
you hold
weird.
the controller, man. Yeah. A lot of people
held
that
it
when I
weird.
was growing up used to hold it fucking on either side. You don't what sort of crackhead holds it on either side? A sociopath, a fucking mass murderer holds them on either side.
Are you muted? Gronky?
Yeah, Gronsky's
shit, I was muted.
lost. Gronsky's lost, boys.
You're just angrily showing his controller,
Right.
fuck toggles.
You can literally hold this with one hand and fucking play it. Like,
Go on,
you
then.
know?
Ah.
I just did.
Go
I
ahead,
just
go
did.
on.
Who needs
How do
mates?
you
This
get
is for
to the
Darcy. Who needs
top
mates? You've just got one in
buttons?
each hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Gronsky's
Oh,
always
good
got one in
job.
each hand, mate.
You're screen cheating. Stop it. Yeah. No, how do you get to the top buttons if you're moving around and then need to aim down the
No, you just don't. Like that's just.
Oh, you just don't. Oh,
You
right.
just
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. So you can
When
turn
you're-
the
when
game
you're on-
Yeah,
yeah.
you can turn the game on.
No, you can definitely play it. You can definitely draw.
When you're on crack, mate, you know the old fucking fissure like on the TV, the old black and white like ants on the TV. There you go.
What game are you playing?
When you're on crack, mate, anything's a game.
100%.
Nah.
He just sits down at the local bus mall on crack, mate, holding a fucking controller like, wow, this is so realistic.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll set it up. I'll show you. Like I'll actually fucking get a game up and I'll play it one-handed for you.
Yep, stream it, baby.
Yeah. I'll stream
Dark
it.
Souls 1.
Dark Souls 1.
Fuck off, cunt. I can't play that one-handed.
Oh, you can't play that. Oh, because
No.
you can't. You can't.
Oh,
can't
so
play
you
it.
can't
Oh,
play
sorry.
one-handed
Oh,
then.
sorry, I thought it was just, yeah.
Look,
Alright,
I'm talking about something like fucking Grand Theft Auto or some shit where, you know, driving around all that shit. One-handed.
So specifically, you're playing Grand Theft Auto and specifically only driving one hand, no problem.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
is what's accelerate? Is it left?
He's
trigger to accelerate?
playing Mario Kart on the Switch, but with like auto steer and fucking, you know, auto
You're
brake like
telling me
enabled.
Hold, so you ready?
You
You
can
hold.
get
Just sits
up
there
to
holding
the
X.
trigger,
Look, see?
Yeah,
And
and then
yep,
steer.
you use this to steer, bro. Boom.
Crackheads.
How
It
is
works. I don't know. So maybe I've just got weird finger set up, bro, or
If-
something. I
man.
don't know.
if you can like get from one side of the road to the other with that?
No, I
I'll-
actually can. I can actually drive pretty well.
like rolling a cigarette, one hand, like I'm just
Yeah,
driving, doing a mission. Yeah.
He's driving with his knee, mate, you know. He's got his knee there. He's got his foot on the dash, fucking controlling the, you know, the heating and the cooling on the dash.
See, that's the skills you learn in the drink driving
Yep.
generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Popping open a CD case with his fucking one hand while getting the CD out while rolling a ciggy with the fucking other right hand, you know?
Yeah, but
I
these
tried
days,
to.
like, if you can't drive and roll a ciggy at the same time, you just like it just means you're a man.
Man, it's a skill.
What about putting your makeup on while you're rolling a ciggy? Like rolling a ciggy, putting the makeup on.
Oh, well, that's what they did back then. I don't really put makeup on, so I wouldn't
No,
know. You might
only-
know some more about that, but
Only the joke.
Brings out my eyes, mate. So then what is the most ergonomic controller then?
Nintendo Switch Pro controller. End of discussion.
Really? The amount of people I know who hate that controller, man.
I hate the Nintendo Switch Pro controllers.
yeah,
Why-
me too.
Why?
I don't
It's
know.
just-
I
doesn't
can't put it into
feel right,
words.
bro.
Yeah, it just doesn't sit well. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
just doesn't feel right.
Interesting.
We need the
64,
Nintendo
mate.
64
It's
ones
kind
back,
of
that's all
like
I can
all
say.
the small neatness of the PlayStation controller, but and like the ergonomics to use the Latin of the Xbox controller, but the sticks aren't like they're just straight, beautiful and flat. Something about it. Something about it.
Hmm.
All right, in that case,
I'm
I changed my
horrible
answer.
about
It
it.
is the
Keep-
Super Nintendo controller. That is the most ergonomic, best controller of all time. Bang, 4 bucks.
Yeah, it was a trick question, mate. It's actually PC, keyboard and mouse.
No, well,
Oh,
No,
you
no,
say that.
no, no, no,
You
no,
can say
no.
that
I've
it's a
had a hell of a
controller.
time.
I
a
want
keyboard
100%.
and mouse is definitely not a controller. So,
I honestly
Well,
enjoy games better
technically-
on the console. Like story games, like, you know, when you're not
Yeah.
playing multiplayer and versing people, I genuinely enjoy console controllers more.
absolutely. You're leaning, you're sitting back, like
Yeah, you're
back in
chilling
the
out.
chair.
I'm gonna be fair, but the Atari controller was pretty fucking goated.
Oh, the joystick, just the.
Yeah.
The old 2600 Atari. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, with the
oh,
wood
yeah.
with the wood grain finish.
Yeah, mate. I've still got mine.
Wow,
I've got the,
beautiful. Yeah, I've still
Still
got
on
one.
I've got the Master System. Sega
Mega
as
Drive
well.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old
fucking
Mega
shit like
Drive.
that. Like
Yep.
the Sega controller was pretty good.
Commodore 64.
Yeah, I did have one of those. For the kids in the stream who don't know what that is, mate, it took about 56 years to turn the cunt on.
But when it was on, we're still waiting.
When it was on,
Finally, I'll get to play Ultima 9.
I'll have you know, mate, that
so
Ultima
much
9
love.
ran perfectly well on Windows 98. Thank you.
Oh, Windows 98.
98.
Oh,
Again, Windows was at its peak.
Oh,
as well.
98 was the year.
Bought out that Windows
Wow.
fucking 2000 bullshit and off.
Y2K.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, what?
Everything's-
Windows XP was okay though. Like XP was good.
It was okay. It was.
But then that
much better than 2000
what superseded XP? It was fucking Vista, wasn't it? That was trash.
Vista, and then
This is the clip to promote this. It's just like four dude heads talking about which Windows is better. Like, come listen to our podcast. It's fun.
It's fun.
XP.
Nothing but fucking thrill rides and excitement here.
Now with more Windows.
Let's be fair. Windows 95. That was pretty fucking goated though.
I have no data. I have no recollection.
I actually enjoyed Windows 95 more than
I was born in
most other
89,
ones. I think it's nostalgia.
Yeah. So.
What
Sure.
about Windows 8?
How
do we feel about Windows 8?
I had a Super Nintendo until 2016. Like,
I just got a PlayStation 1.
yeah, hell yeah, the new one, PS1.
the PS1 reboot. 20 games included.
Metal Gear Solid. It's a bit weird, but it is weird. Actually, that is true. Again, that's one of those things that I say as a jest, but I truly mean.
I remember Windows 95 playing fucking Dungeon Siege 1. That was pretty goated.
Was that like an original crawler, like Diablo style crawler?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking
keep going
sick
down.
game, dude. But then the second one was good, and then after that it was fucked. They tried to make the third one like it was fucking what's that shit game called? Final Fantasy.
Right.
Ooh, all right.
He did quite well, didn't it? I think it's quite popular. Well,
Nah,
it's
mate.
getting popular.
I don't like it.
Nah, it's
Rubbish
too
game.
indie. I can't get into it.
Rubbish game.
Man, this is going to be a strange one to shoot from Dungeon Siege, but it might make sense if like I knock this out of the park. But have you played Stardew Valley?
Yes.
Oh, Stardew
Yes.
Valley is amazing.
That bit, like that classic 99 level
Yeah,
like dungeon they put into it. It took me like 14 levels. I was like, oh my god, I know what this is. I don't know what they've done here. It's a crawl. I was like, how long does it go for? 99 levels. Fuck. Like, all right.
dude, yeah.
Oh, they got like, oh Jesus. Now I'm gonna just have that anxiety of like, how do I get down here? And you watch the people like fly down it on the ladders and knock it out and stuff. And I was like, I bought that game thinking it was a farming simulator. And then
One of the gruesome
within an
carrots.
hour, I was like this. Because I was doing DMT with a wizard who was telling me I was the chosen one. I was like, I thought I was here to just take over Granddad's farm.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on in this game? We're going to make, and in 3 years, his spirit's going to come back and judge me. Like, I went through dread. So what's he going to
Fucking hell.
think?
Started going
Yeah,
through
dumb.
stress, mate.
It's
That was
interesting though, right? Speaking about that, so you look at shit like that, right, and the storylines and stuff like that in those games, and then you look at the ones in the games now, and it's kind of like, why were they so much better back then?
Something about
put
it.
more effort into
definitely.
it.
Kiss.
Like they put
Man,
so much
Kiss.
effort into the storylines back then than they
Not
do
competing visually. I
Yeah.
chalked it up to that. They're not competing visually, so they're like, we're going to do it 8-bit. Cool, shut up. Let's go write it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Instead of
I
like
honestly
Kiss though,
think
man.
people
You
think
know, like keep
people
it
render.
simple, stupid. You know that old
Yeah.
saying.
There is
But
some
today's
magic to it.
games, though, they're just pumping them out one after another just so they can make money. It's not about, oh, we're going to make a really enjoyable sort of,
No,
experience for
the
the
indies
viewer
are doing that.
gaming.
The indie developers. It's
Yeah.
honestly a lot like the music industry. Like Kiss is like the FIFA of the music industry. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's the
Kiss
same
card
shit.
packs coming soon.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
gives a shit? But the indie games are like the ones that churn out shit like Hades and like they just or Genshin or even like stuff like whether you get into it or not, like these hit games that come from like Minecraft, which is now of course probably like the Metallica of the gaming world, I guess. Used to be cool, used to be underground. Now it's just like way too popular with kids. But
Yeah.
like the indies that like aren't trying to cater, like sell units, make product like the Nickelbacks and stuff. Like they're just trying to make something cool that they think that they would like themselves. Like that's where the magic happens.
I'm a big fan of the indie developers nowadays. Like all the indie games that I've played that have like recently been released and whatnot have actually been like fucking super cool.
Real hits.
Yeah, like some of
Yep.
them have been absolute bangers, but you get fuck all, like as you say, like they're not selling that product. Like there's no.
Well, look, even
quality.
PAX Australia, man, when you first entered PAX Australia, at the very front door, man, you had to walk through the indie developer section.
Exactly.
They literally placed all the indie guys front and center, and that's awesome, man.
Well, I think
That's
that's
awesome.
honestly cool because, like,
Yeah, it's a good
it's
idea.
the only way of getting out there.
If you put them at the
because
back of the expo, man, no one's going to go there.
No
Like, they're
one's
going to
gonna
see
see it.
fucking, they're going to
That's
walk
it.
in, see the brand new Halo to the left and go, fuck yeah, I'm going to that. But
Oh,
if you
yeah,
put Halo at the
Halo.
back and to the left, like, Halo's still going to get that foot traffic. They don't need to try. But the
I'm gonna
indie
be honest,
developers
but
need
I'm
that
going
extra
to
foot
PAX.
traffic.
I'm not fucking going to Halo. I'm going straight to the indie developers and going, oh, what do you got?
Indie developers had
Let's
some
go."
cool games, man, at PAX, but that was a few years
Yeah.
back.
Man, can you imagine? Like, I think it'd be fucking awesome to be an indie developer company. Like, it was just like, honestly, if the four of us knew how to, we could make a better game than Activision could right now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We could
And
make.
we wouldn't have our microtransactions in there like EA either,
No,
so we'd
like,
be
hey,
Gucci.
here's the game. This is it. It's finished.
We'll do a fucking like Stardew Valley but Australian edition. So like when the
Oh,
guy rocks
fuck
up, he's
yeah.
like, "Hey Cobber, I'm gonna send you on a
Nothing
mish.
goes.
I'm gonna send you on a
Yeah,
mish
no.
down to the
fucking
survey."
You go to the
Need
pub,
you to get a
just do
fucking Palmer
fucking
for me.
And then
BB,
you-
man. That one
Nothing
alcoholic
grows
mum's just
here,
rocking out
so-
with like a wife
Yeah.
beater on.
Go and be an
Oh, fuck.
alcoholic. Beat you
And you
up,
got
get a
3
wife,
years
you
to
can
do
beat
it,
her
mate.
up.
Otherwise, fucking old mate's gonna come back and give you a fucking smack around the ear hole. Off you go.
Yeah. And then
Boomerang.
for like 3 months out of the 4, it's just bushfires.
That's it.
Bushfire.
For 1 month.
Yeah.
And the rest, it's just like,
And then floods.
yeah, just picking up your
Yeah.
burnt
Yep.
dead dog. Oh. Oh, crikey.
Any crops you try to plant just get eaten by wallabies and
And
kangaroos.
then a dingo
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
out and
Yeah.
eats your baby.
Yeah.
And then they banned 1080, so like, what do you do? Well, I got all this 1080. And
Down
you
to the
just,
bottle,
you know,
oh,
join a
yeah.
small extremist group, and I don't know, see how it goes. That's Stardew Valley, Australia edition.
Australia.
Can you imagine, honestly, like an Australian like version of Grand Theft Auto?
Look, here's the problem. The massive problem with Australia in an international sense is the typicalized Australian character that get like the Crocodile Dundee thing. But like, if you actually, if people weren't scared of it not selling, you could actually do something pretty fucking amazing with Australia.
Like you honestly could.
weird-
Like it
it's
would
a
be
weird
super
place.
cool.
It's a super weird place. Imagine all that, like, you know, like they. But are we allowed to make fun of everyone in Australia? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what that rockstar humor is? Like everyone's made fun.
Oh, they got that, yeah, that typical cliche
Nah,
like that.
see, now
Yeah,
look,
like
As an Australian, if they did make a game like that, and that, let's just say they didn't have the character and it wasn't a fucking like Crocodile Dundee type figure, and let's just say it was Joe Blow who wears a wife beater, fucking goes to the pub and has a Palmer and a pot kind of guy, right?
Mm.
And it just takes the piss out of other stupid shit like the way we talk and our mannerisms and stuff like that. Like, would you play the game?
Well, probably. Oh, I'd try it, but if that guy wasn't talking like the Ocker bloke down the pub truly talks, right?
mate.
Like if
Yeah.
it was an authentic,
It'd have to be
I'd like, "Man,
censored.
yeah, but I mean,
That's what
listen to
they
me,
wanna
mate.
do.
Like
they do a good
I
job
sound
with
like the bastardized love child of fucking Mick Dundee and Steve Irwin. Like I sound shocking, mate. You couldn't have
it.
me
but,
voice
like,
the
if
character.
They captured the actual
I'm hella
humor and the
rocker.
essence and
What
as
is-
long as they did include boring people, like Australia's full of boring people as well. So like as long as they did a good job of
Give me a
it,
job. I've got this.
yeah.
I
look at-
represent the boring people of Australia.
Yeah, you
And-
are a fucking boring cunt, aren't you? Look
That'd
at
be
you.
your office there. You're just like, oh, you crashed your car again.
Only
Oh,
white.
okay.
Only white. I'm really disappointed in you.
Yeah,
But I
no
hope you're
pictures
having
of
a good
family,
day.
nothing.
There's a
Yeah.
good job there.
This is the only expression I can have. It's a fucking really bad paint job.
It
Yeah.
looks, well, to be honest, your wall looks the same colour as fucking JB's Skimbo.
Look at the inside of that arm. That's glowing.
Oh,
Yeah, my face. I'm very pale. I haven't seen sun in about 10 years, mate.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
back,
Um,
I just had a thought. Going back to, you know, what would be a better Australian game than Grand Theft Auto?
What?
Far Cry 7.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Like a bit
Far
more
Cry 7
slapstick,
in
a little
Aussie.
bit. I've never played one, but I look at the game and go, I like what they do with certain, like, you know, cultures and scenes and like genres, for lack of a better term.
But where would you set it though?
It's the
Well,
thing about Australia.
Dead
everyone-
Well, I mean, you do
Valid
like
brings it to my
war
mind.
torn, like apocalyptic Sydney, man, or war torn apocalyptic.
What
Like
I
Sydney
say.
would have it'd have to be like to have the opera house and the bridge. It's such an iconic look for
tatters.
Australia
Yeah.
in
it'd have to
tatters,
be, 'cause you wouldn't
with an
have fucking
apocalyptic look.
Melbourne.
But
You
the
couldn't have
game
Melbourne.
has
People
shot-
wouldn't know. It'd just look like
Oh,
another
shit.
fucking city.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too crazy of a country because that you take a photo of Sydney and people in rural Queensland who are not that far away in the terms of the earth aren't going to relate to that. Like they're up there in the banana trees and shit. Like
Yeah. See,
you know
so
what I
it'd be a
mean?
hard one.
You'd have to travel around. Like you'd
Mm.
have to capture the cities. You'd have to capture the desert. You have to capture the bush. To capture the coastline
And
like,
the fucking rainforest and everything. Yeah, I
the
got you.
scope of it's actually epic. Like Australia is such an epic country.
Yeah.
But
Like, let's, for
people just
example,
want
you
Dundee.
got fucking Forza Horizon, Australia.
That's right. They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool,
Like,
wasn't it?
yeah, I think
That was
they
actually a
captured
good
the
one.
landscape and everything really well in that game.
Yeah. Well, and we got the history with cars as well. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like some weird kind of like cash grab. There was
Actually
actual love
structure
behind it.
and everything
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, it was good. I actually enjoyed that game. The UK one that they did afterwards in 4 was pretty shit though.
Yeah, I haven't played, but like it was one of those games I enjoyed watching. Like, because especially that Australian one, because like, what the fuck's going on? Why is this car game got like 5 fucking games now? Like, what's the deal? By 5 games, I'm like, yeah, except for Ultima, like that's at 12 now, but I'm still like, nah, I'll check it out. Maybe if they get to 13, but yeah, you gotta. Hang on a minute. At what point does that become a AAA release? How many games in until you're a AAA company? How many Stardew Valleys until we go, that's not an indie developer anymore? We don't want Cristiano Ronaldo coming to the farm. Like this is a weird crossover.
The fact you use Ronaldo.
Stardew Valley 14, yeah.
Yeah.
FIFA Valley 14.
Messi
With the all-star fucking Valley tournament as well in the corner.
yeah,
Get some Karate Kid in there.
Portugal national team. You're like, oh, okay. And then the wizard comes. He's just like, I don't know, boys. I don't know about this.
Oh shit.
So you know the golden age of gaming for you, mate, was really the end of the 90s. Mate, when did you start making music? Like when did you pick up a guitar, or what was your first instrument?
Actually, it's kind of the same question. There was a game on PlayStation called Music 2000. Anyone familiar with it?
Yes.
Not Music 2000. I mean, you know, they brought out the old Rockstar and stuff on like PS3, I think, where you could actually plug your electric guitar in, and then obviously
No, it
No,
wasn't
that was Rocksmith. Sorry.
Rocksmith, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Music 2000 was essentially a beat making game. There was all these pre-packed samples and different instruments, but you could also go in and take the samples and make your own thing, which is essentially what I'm just doing today, except it was much like primitive technology, but it's where I learned how to structure songs, and like I'd play them for people, and then you know people wouldn't like certain things, so I was like I could be critical. I don't know, like I was turned on to it very young. Like I understood music from a very young age, but unfortunately, what I didn't understand was you've got to throw your life at it and work at it to become elite. So I've only in like the last 3, like I had a pretty good childhood. It lasted like 28 years. I'm 32 now. And only in the last 4 years have I realized, like, oh my God, like I'm going to fucking get old and die. And like I was like, man, I don't like pretty much anything about my life and where it's going. Like I need to switch paths. And since then, I'm trying to become an elite songwriter. Like I want to be renowned for my craft. And but a lot of it, like I knew a lot of what I'm doing now back when I was a kid, but the actual to get it into my hands onto a thing and then out to people, that's been the that's what took so long. So I've always known what great music sounds like, but I've only recently learned how to actually get on the path to
Sell
make
products.
Make product. Yes,
Have
you
those
like
microtransactions.
Yeah, buy a shirt. But
Yeah,
no,
Nickelback.
Hashtag FD.
Yeah, exactly.
You can buy your Father's Day FierceDeity pack next Father's Day.
Hey, he won't want it, but you fucking hate your dad anyway, so
Give it to him anyway. It's better than a fucking necktie.
What you do is, if you're a dad, just keep it for yourself.
yeah.
That's it, no?
That's what I'm gonna do.
So all the
Big
sounds
brand.
is being able to grab like keyboards and electric guitar riffs and ridiculous drums and like throw them all together and try and emulate all the music I loved, but try and sort of learnt about the freedom to do my own thing and whatnot. That was all from Music 2000.
That's awesome.
So, how much of your current, having known your previous bands and your a little bit about your musical history? I don't know, obviously everything, but I guess how much of your current music is influenced by gaming, if at all any?
Oh man, basically all of it, in the sense that I'm trying to, like, like I'm an indie developer. I'm trying to make a cool game. Like I'm trying to make cool music that, like, I can't go and no one else is doing it. So I'm just like, man, there's all this great sounds that no one uses, or these great things that no one uses, and I'm trying to set up something cool like that for people like me. Like when I was playing Ocarina of Time, and like these notes, like these little jingles, and the emotional attachments, and the way that they'd set up scenes with music, and some of the temple soundtracks are like the greatest compositions I've ever heard. Like they trigger these things. So I'm always trying to do something like that. And so pretty much a lot, maybe all of it, because I do tend to think in terms of little melodies like the Zelda Ocarina songs, and like high energy type, boss fight music. Like you guys know what I'm talking about. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, 100, of course.
As soon as you hit a boss, yeah.
Trying to
the
set up
Doom
stuff.
boss music and shit like
Ah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
mwah,
Mate,
yeah,
Mick Gordon.
Mwah. Man, chef's kiss to Mick Gordon. But yeah, just trying to make music that does that instead of, metal bands are just making metal lately. And it's just like...
Well, you're right, man. I mean, metal's gone down a very interesting path lately, I mean, we sort of lost the Panteras, we lost, all of the older style metal, man, and all of a sudden we've really just got this crossover of it's either death or it's like doom sort of hardcore, like with the screaming, and it's metal's, in my opinion, has become a little generic, like
it should be like it's pretty like, I don't know, like I don't really think in terms of those genres. Like all of those metal genres are so different, and like the only fucking similar thing is they've got electric guitars. Like, and apparently, like as soon as you put an electric guitar in, someone was like, "That's metal." They're like, "But I'm playing like a Zelda song. Like that's the metal version of the Zelda." Like it's just a tool. It's a color. So I don't know. I think in the mainstream they stopped bothered to look, but man, they're like, again, it's like I said earlier, like all the coolest shit at the moment is indie. It's underground, real creative stuff. People like, I don't know, like there's a lot of it's sort of gone stale and fallen a bit flat because of
there's no
reasons. I don't really know. I don't know what it is, but just what is being brought to me by the algorithm is kind of like not what I want. My algorithm gets it wrong most of the time. So I'm lucky in the sense that I A, want to make music, and B, feel like I've been born in this time where it's so easy to do that. Like what I'm doing in my bedroom, you used to need a fucking complex to do. And with a recording engineer, like key term engineer, those guys that would cut tape and run this, like the boards, recording engineers, like it was a thing. But now I can just like whip it up on a on a PC that can run Diablo 2 and record songs. So like I'm in heaven.
Yeah, and I mean, you've really sort of this FierceDeity has been completely recorded at home, hasn't it?
Yeah, man.
Just on your actual like your PC rig.
Yep, I got a little MIDI controller. See, a lot of people think that I play the keyboards, but I actually don't. Like I draw them in. There's this, and I know like a little bit of like playing your controller one-handed. Like it's much the same thing. It's not the it's not the same as letting fly, but I use this to like find sounds that I want, maybe try different chords and whatnot. But when it comes to actually putting it in, like you go in and click and drag and like draw the notes in this thing that Music 2000 taught me how to do. So when I got to it, I was like, oh my god, I'm so ahead of the learning curve here. But yeah, no, it's all me done at home. I got like amazing sounds, all this incredible fucking software and technology that lets me just do what I want to do. Just
do
man,
what you want to do.
I'm just so lucky.
Yeah,
I'm just so fucking fortunate with the timing of everything. And like yeah, having the circumstances in life to be able to jump ship and go wholehearted into it. I'm just a lucky man that has imbibed enough self-help content to also have the work, grind, hustle mindset, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't say a hustle and grind. Like, I actually like to be pretty chill, but I know I want to get these things done, and the world has given me the circumstances in which I can. So very lucky
to put the effort in.
So what made you wake up one day and go, you know what, streaming's for me? Like 9 to 5, I'm done. I want to stream, you know, the classics, because you do stream a lot of classics. You're not.
Yeah,
you stream a couple of modern games, but primarily you're a bit of a classics man. And you've also been streaming your music as well.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. It wasn't like I started streaming in 2016. Like, I didn't get Twitch, and then I saw this channel, Trevallen, his name was, and I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, now I get it. Like, I understand streaming now. Because I was like a little bit older and I didn't get in the Justin TV era at all. Like, it was 2016. And I got the bits and pieces to do it because I was like, oh, this would be great if this works. But so I did that and then went hard for a little while and things were going pretty good. But then I just sort of crashed and I was like, hang on a minute, like I don't want to sit and play video games for 12 hours a day. Like, I just don't like I said, my childhood lasted about 28 years and it was in that crossover. I was like, fuck yeah, I'd love to play video games for 10 hours a day. That sounds like the best life ever. And then something just like, nah, dude, like, I want to be a songwriter and I can't become elite at that if I'm playing video games for 12 hours a day. So I had all the streaming equipment ready to go. I was like, well, I'll just stream myself making the music and people can, like, I'll be getting music done. So I don't get that sense of dread of streaming for 12 hours to 4 people. I'm like, this is going fucking nowhere because, like, I'll stream to 4 people making music, but at the end of the day, there's, like, I got something done. So, well, yeah, I had all that together when I decided to jump ship and make the album that I released back in September, Power, Wisdom, Courage, because I just realized that I needed as much time possible. So I saved up a bunch of money, gave myself a window of time, and just leapt off the boat into the open water. And it's wild, man. Like, I don't know, people need to be told, like, I'm broke, but like, happy just doesn't cut it.
Well,
no idea.
you're happy,
fair,
you know?
most of the time,
100%
most
respect
musicians
that.
One at a time, one at a time.
We're just all
Hold your questions till the end.
Yeah, all right. You in the purple, go.
Yeah, so as I was saying, but most of the time when you're an indie musician, you are broke. So
yeah.
It's
and it's fine. But I was a full-time monkey, so I was like, oh, you need money. Like, what if this, what if that? And then, like, a few things happened in my life. I was just like, oh, it can all end anyway. Like, I know old people, very, that had the gift of seeing some old people get to the point in their life where the door shut behind them and they didn't have a choice. I'm like, oh, that's worse than having to come up with $400 if your car breaks down. Like, this is worse. Like, I started to put that together. So
perspective.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, that's
It's
wicked.
hard.
It takes so much courage to take that leap too. So mad props to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it took a long time, man. But honestly, once I realized it was, I didn't have a choice. You know, like what I mean, it just got to the point where I was like, it's either become a mentally ill alcoholic with a full-time job or have, like, do something wild with your life
and
follow that
dreams.
call. Yeah. And so yeah, it was, I don't know, it looks like courage on the outside, but honestly, like, I had no choice because I could just feel myself slipping into disdain and anger and
bitterness.
Mental illness, just going crazy, like marking off, like I was a storm and like full time just ticking off, like, it's a green guitar, pick one of those. It's a yellow one of those. Oh, we're not supposed to have a yellow one.
Oh, stop taking
like, man, like, honestly. But yeah, I just knew I had to do it. Got to the point where I just do a little bit of work here and there, whatever's going. And honestly, man, Pirate's life for me.
That's the way.
Props.
All right, that's it. You've inspired me. Darcy, can you let work know I'm done? We're out.
I quit!
This is it.
I'm out!
I'm going.
I'm done with
selling my
work!
dreams.
Boy,
I don't know what they are, but I'm
hey,
pursuing them.
like it's yeah, it seems like an impossible thing to do, but I'd like if you be smart about it, like the best advice I heard, I wasn't told. I heard you guys know the name Duncan Trussell. Heard of Duncan Trussell?
Nah, can't say that, man. Any sort of names in the self-help category, more Gary V and
Oh right,
a couple
yeah,
other
he's,
boys.
Duncan Trussell's just like a comedian and just a cosmonaut, just a tripper. But he was talking something about like when you're sitting in your cubicle and you fantasize about escaping it. Like the thought of quitting your job and doing what you love is also just another one of those made up things. Like it's not a real thing. Like you can't just pack a bag and fuck off. So he was like, you gotta, think about it and make a plan. So with that, I was like, all right, like if I just save money for a year, I'll have X amount and I can live off that. If no money comes in, I knew I was good for about 8 months or 6 to 8 months. So like it was taking it out of that fantasy, like, hey, boss, like not coming in tomorrow, go shank yourself. It's it's a little bit of that, but not all of that. Like there are it's not unrealistic is what I think what I'm trying to say. But you've just got to make a plan as opposed to tell people that you did that, like like plan it logically and rationally, but when it comes time to tell the story, like tell them that you walked the plank and you're just swimming with the sharks and you love it.
Yeah, didn't even look back, didn't hesitate. I just lunged.
No, mate. Oh, it was easy, mate. Just knew I was destined
15
for
grand
greatness.
in Doge, and just hope for the best.
Yeah, sold my house and put it into Doge.
Yeah.
Yeah, told my wife to get. If you've got kids, think about it. Like I had no debts, and I had a relationship with a girl who was like supportive, and I got lost in this like, oh, I'm gonna like, I'd hate to ever become a freeloader or something like that because I've seen it and it's just like it's pretty gross. But it turns out shockingly that women would rather have a happy partner than a rich partner. Who would have thought?
Shock.
Maybe write that down, listeners. That's one. That's one you should take with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the clip we're gonna chuck up on the YouTube.
Yeah, that's the YouTube algorithm right there. How to get chicks. Angry Aussie Gamers style.
Become interesting.
Become interesting, yeah.
Hell. And
well, I'd just like to personally thank you, Dr. Phil, for coming on the show. And
ma'am, pick-up artists hate him.
This guy has this one easy trick.
Trick.
Dating apps.
When you realize if you have sex with every woman on the planet, you'll still be miserable. Be interesting.
You can't say that. It's a $1 billion industry. What are you talking sex like that?
What do you mean? What?
What are we going to do about the thumbnail now?
I'll tell you what, JB, you've inspired me to like just quit my job, cut my hair, change my name, and just bang, let's go.
Hell yeah, rebrand.
That's it.
Yeah. But first, you got to go on all the talk shows and tell everyone what a piece of shit you are. You got to get out of it.
I'll do that first. Don't worry. I'm going straight to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you'll have Terry Crews weeping next to you like, brother.
I'm so proud of him.
Didn't he jump on the Me Too movement as well? Maybe that's the next
put his hand up to it.
Yeah. There you go. Just start making some confessions.
Just make them up.
I can confess
like,
right now.
I did it. I was on the phone with Louis C.K. at the time. I had my dick out.
Sorry. I thought they were into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just full disclosure. My dick's out right now. My dick's out now.
Just stand up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My dick's out right now.
Just fucking. All right, guys, let's do that.
So, you just recorded. You're coming off the back of Power, Wisdom, Courage. You've released some album of the year. It is album of the year, mate. I'm so in love with Power. I'm so in love with Power. But you've got some absolute bangers as well that you sort of just released here and there. Now, I guess where I'm going with it is like, why are they here and there? Was it when you quit your job that you're like, I'm going to do the full album? Was it when you had that? Like, when was the transition over to this?
I fell in love with a band called Elder in the dying stages of my retail career. and I was like, like again, it was like a cool indie game, cool indie band, and I was like, oh my god, like I would love to do something this like cool. So I started working on this longer album. I had the singles out. The singles were songs I had for my old band, but when I was like, guys, we need to jump ship, live the pirate, like we need to figure it out. And they were kind of like, it's just a hobby for us, dude. And I was like, what? Like, I thought we were doing the thing, but I had these songs.
Well, you guys toured some of the world as well, didn't you?
No,
when you
that was
were-
the problem.
Okay.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted to, but like it was a mix. Like, to be fair, we were totally in the dark in a sense of we had no real connections or like, but I was like, yeah, fuck all that. If we want to do it, we'll figure it out. And they were kind of like, well, we don't want to. So I was like, oh, okay, like I'm in this this is different for me. Like I want this to be my life. So I had these songs that are, I call them the trials for like literal reasons and also like narrative reasons. And but I started having this.
Well, you've
bigger
written your
thing in my
music
head.
like a game, haven't you? You've I mean, like,
It's-
you know,
yeah,
A Ballad of
it's-
Despair and Holy Fire, like they tell stories.
It all comes from games somewhere, but you gotta, like when you're making fiction, you've got to insert yourself in certain places and stuff like that, because then other people hear it and they go, oh yeah, I'm into this. Like they'll resonate it whether they're conscious of it or not. And I got the songs out, but realized that I started collecting gear, technology to be able to record music. And I realized that with the time I had, I wasn't going to be able to learn how to use it like I'm trying to become elite. Like I want to become a fucking champion at it. And
You want to be the very best.
the very best I can possibly be. And to do that, I needed more time. And I basically had my music career, a new girlfriend, and a full-time job. And I was like, I don't have time for all three. So I just chose the music career and the girlfriend. And so I quit my job to do Power Wisdom Courage because it needed me. I needed to have all that time to figure out how the fuck to use all this stuff. So it was it progressed like that. But yeah, the singles, like it's all canon, so to speak. You know, you'd find little crossovers and Easter eggs and links. And I got a friend, and he's like an aspiring author, and he sat me down recently and laid out this fucking narrative that he found all the way through it. It's like it like blew my mind. I was like, fuck, that's so much better than what it actually is. So like I took little bits. I was like, yeah, cool. But yeah, like I'm trying to, it's all my memories just told through the lore of various video games or other just fantastic stories I've heard. Oh,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's everything
I'm not
I
used
love.
to modern day content, having meaning behind it. Going back to the conversation about people just pumping things out for money grab.
I'm sure it's
awesome.
there, man, but like, honest, I feel like people get scared and they're like,
yeah,
because in my early, like, there's stuff in the early, like after Power Wisdom Courage, and it was people didn't give a fuck that it was long, and all this music entrepreneur self-help will tell us like make them short, make them this, and I was like, I want to do what people say, but I'm not feeling it. And basically every time in my life when I've gone with my gut feeling, good things have happened. Like I don't know why it took me so long to just be like, I'm just going to do what I want, regardless of what anyone else is doing. So I think maybe people just get scared. But I don't know,
100%.
when you understand that you're going to die, you kind of stop caring. When you understand, when it sinks, we all know we're going to die, but when it really sinks in, and you
evaluate what's truly important to you, don't you?
just like, I just want to do what I want.
There's the next message of this: have a near-death experience, and you'll you really start enjoying life. So go out there, jump in front of a bus.
Yeah, it wasn't a near-death experience physically, but it was an emotional death. Put it that way, like a character died. I couldn't maintain a character any longer because I realized I was a fucking loser. And this is my moment where I get to get out in front of it and tell everyone what a piece of shit I was.
We get you now. Damn it. That was how the stream was ending.
Yeah. No, I was mean and just like a real piece of shit in relationships, and just had a lot of like guilt and shame, and went through the journey of like getting in touch and making amends with people and like letting all of it go, forgiving myself and forgiving the people that had wronged me in some way, and just like letting all that go, all of that stuff, like that was like an emotional death, and like I killed off that character, that hot shot. I just couldn't maintain it because it just wasn't the truth, and it was horrible because he was like out getting drunk, making a fucking fool out of me. So I had to take him out the back, fucking put him down. Yeah, so like you talk about like a death, that's kind of what it was. The old me put him out.
And again, it's fucking hard to do that. Many people don't actually get around to that. So again, that's wicked.
Yeah. Again, when you realize you don't have a choice, that's when it happens. Like it's a beautiful, beautiful moment. Yeah. Fucking, where was I going with that? That was good. That was a good rant.
Something about Power, Wisdom, Courage being released.
Yeah, so I got that out in
Cosmic
December.
Journey.
Honestly, like it's weird, man. Like every release, that's my goal, is just to release the next song. I know eventually I'll die with one of these ideas in my head. So like I'm just trying to work every waking hour to get the next song and idea out, so it literally can exist.
So would you, I mean, it's probably a stupid question, would you ever consider doing a score for a video game? And what video game, is ideally FierceDeity, when you think of a video game and link it with FierceDeity?
Well, like, if I got an offer, I'd just probably like do it, because I'd love to get into scoring, because again, like the Zelda soundtracks is one of my biggest musical defining, moments or whatever. So, but I'd score it to the game. I'd listen to what the person making the game wants it to be. Like, you got to understand, man, there's like, they say there's no right and wrong decisions in music and whatnot, but like there are rules. So if it's a sci-fi thing, you've got to use certain instruments, and it would have been weird if Blade Runner had Lord of the Rings soundtrack, right? You think about it, the Lord of the Rings soundtrack is all acoustic instruments because it's a natural world, and Blade Runner is all electronic instruments because it is a futuristic thing. So like that's the reason I'd love to score a game, because I'd love to, I don't know, just have a hand in making something cool like that, and go through the whatever learning experiences I go through to get that done. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Have you had any success on that front yet?
No, but like I haven't asked. Like I've just got to start.
Yeah, do it.
Fucking asking people. Yeah, I don't know. You guys are in with Ubisoft. Gronkie's emailing someone right now. I can tell by the look on his face. Gronkie's like halfway to Ubisoft. He's like, "Can you get my boy Deity to soundtrack FIFA 23?"
Yeah,
I'm fucking trying for you, mate. Don't worry.
On there. I'll just use the pong noises every time they kick the ball. Bloop.
I got you, mate. I got you.
How much better would that game be? They should add in slapstick cartoon sound effects to the FIFA games to make it so much more interesting. Oh, yeah. When you bowl someone over, it's like bowling ball skittles, like and shit like that. Look me up, Ubisoft. Look me up.
So you have been overseas, mate. Did you end up going to any of the sort of gaming places? Like I know you went to Japan. I've been to Japan as well. Did you end up going to any of the gaming places?
Look. That was at the sort of the height of me trying to be a streamer, and I dropped the ball massively. There was a bunch of people staying in the capsule hotel that I was staying at they're all had lanyards, and like some of the guys were wearing t-shirts of like things that looked like games. And then after it had ended, it turned out after it had ended, I was in the elevator. I was like, "Hey, what's the lanyards all about? What have you been up to?" It's like, "Oh man, I forget what it's called, but like Bit Conference or something like that. Huge fucking game developing convention in Japan." And I was like right next to it, just like eating sushi, just being like, "Where is everyone?" Like, so I didn't I was almost in exactly the right spot at the right time, but no, I didn't really, man. I wanted to I was getting massive into Buddhism at that time again, like all that talk earlier of gathering a deep understanding about life and how fragile it is and whatnot. Like that's all Buddhism. So I was really keen to get around and go to the museums and things like that. I kind of turned off my Well, actually, I didn't choose to. I was forced to turn off. I just couldn't, it was so weird being somewhere else. Like, I grew up in the northern suburbs of Hobart, which is kind of like a low socioeconomic thing. To be standing in front of, 9-foot golden statues of Buddhas that were made in the 9th century. Like my tiny little brain was like, oh my god, like we're doing it all wrong. Well,
Are you telling me Glenorchy can't stand up to a fucking 9th century giant Buddhism temple?
I'm just saying that I know that Subway's been there a long time, but not quite 9th century. Like, I get it. They have a Pizza Hut there, and that is important as well. It's important as well. But no, like I didn't. To short, I just wandered around. I was a lost little child, which was fucking awesome, and I highly recommend it. Go somewhere where you're the alien. It's the best.
I loved Japan, man. I loved every second of being there. Like and it re-brought my love of arcades, dude. You know, we just don't have those old style arcades anymore, man. I went in there, dude, and played some fucking awesome games, and yeah, I sat back going, fuck, I love this, and like going, like I'm a bit of a, you know, I love the skill testers, dude, and you know, obviously I'll pick my skill tester. And obviously they're not always designed, not always designed to win. Obviously, House always wins with them, generally speaking. But in Japan, man, you know, just arcades dedicated to fucking skill testers, dude. And
I've just realized I misunderstood.
Just a lot of fun, man.
I went to Akihabara and like Super Potato Beep or whatever, and like those.
Super Potato is actually really cool, man. I got a fucking portable SNES from there.
64s, like brand new 64s, brand new games. It's like, man, but like I just, you know, doing the Buddhism thing, I'd just given up the collection of material possessions and whatnot.
These games mean nothing to me now.
Oh man, no, I picked up the fucking I picked up the portable SNES.
Just walked out with it.
Yeah. No, I paid for it. But I did. As soon as I picked up that portable SNES, I'm like, okay, so it takes real SNES cartridges. It could be PA, like it could be PAL, or it could be fucking what is it, NTSC or whatever. So I could play a US version of the game or like Australian versions of the game. And it takes real cartridges, man. You can play it at 16:9 or 4:3 aspect ratio. As soon as I picked this fucking portable SNES up, man, and you can plug it into your TV and then plug controllers into it, so you can play it like it's a real fucking SNES. Or you can play it on the go, just chuck a cartridge in the top and start playing, man. As soon as I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm fucking sold. Gotta have.
It was tough.
Buying.
It was tough to walk out of there with nothing. I think I brought a gift for my friend. He like a year or so before bought me a Japanese copy of Resident Evil 2, which is like our favorite game to get, but it's like obviously the Biohazard, it's sick, like brand new with all the stickers. So I returned the favor and got him Biohazard 3, which is two of our favorite games from when we were in high school. So I did walk out of there with something, but it was fucking hard, man. Jesus. It's gonna like walk out like, oh, just getting onto the airport, like getting on the plane and be like, sir, you cannot come with all of that. But man, there was the gaming scene there is fucking ridiculous. It's epic. They love it.
It is, man. Yeah, it is. It's next level in Japan. It was really a sight to behold. You know, like 1 minute you could be in the thick of the city, surrounded by some of the most crazy digital shit and people, for that matter, that you've ever seen in your life. You know, like a lot of the cosplay and things like that on the streets just being worn everywhere, you know, and no one batters an eyelid at it, you know. It's awesome. And then a couple of hours later, man, yeah, exactly. And then a couple of hours later, on a fucking bullet train, you're in the middle of nowhere on top of a fucking mountain, like you said, with a 9th century Buddha.
Yeah,
it's just it's very humbling experience, man.
And you're zoomed out, but you can still see your dot moving because you're going at like 300k.
Yeah, 300 kilometers an hour. It's fucking crazy.
This thing's moving. Yeah, it was great. I went to Canada. But
I loved it, man.
I don't know. Canada's kind of a bit too similar to Australia, so the best thing about Canada,
I think Japan, you know, historically and everything, man, is just fascinating. I think it's got very, very rich history there, mixed with, you know, the modernization and the electronics and stuff. Like you literally have two worlds in Japan. You have the old artisan crafts, where you got guys still hand forging fucking swords, and then on the other end, you've got the modern crafts where people are creating fucking robots that can guarantee, you know, a perfect fucking shot on a net in basketball from the other end of the court. You know what I mean? Like, it was awesome, man, and the game side of it was incredible.
A wonderful display of humanity in Japan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go traveling, and I fully intend to at some point in the future, hopefully soon. But I've never really considered the gaming aspect side of it.
I'd love to go and do more gaming conventions around the world, man. You know, like we've got PAX in Australia, but that's fucking tiny, mate, compared to like TwitchCon in Amsterdam or TwitchCon in America or PAX in America. So, you know, I
think
would
that's probably
love
the
to
next
go
step.
overseas.
TwitchCon in America.
100%.
One of the
that'd be
big,
good.
like one of the big, not the like shithole cities, like the big ones.
Nah, the fucking huge ones, mate. None of this.
Well, it's
fucking-
like,
we're not
you
going
know,
small
Comic-Con,
time, mate.
man.
Big.
No,
We don't
fuck.
have Comic-Con in it. Well, we
Yeah,
have
do.
Comic-Con in Australia now, but it's fucking tiny. Like, Comic-Con's nothing here, but you go to San Diego, and Comic-Con is fucking, like, god tier. That is the supreme place you go if that's your mamma jamma.
Well, this is
What-
a question.
What the
for
fuck do you
guys,
do with
mate.
these things,
No.
though?
I can't jump on a plane tomorrow, man. I wish I could, but I can't.
Just go as a cosplayer. You know,
Yeah.
blend in.
Would
Be
you
one of them.
cosplay as an Eshe? I reckon you'd be really good at that.
Shame.
Me or Darcy.
Just
Fucking-
walk into San Diego.
I was gonna
Shame,
say,
man.
like a tracksuit.
What's
Just do that
going on,
as I was gonna
boy?
go to fucking work on Halloween. I was just dressed up as an Eshe.
Hell yeah. That would be like
Well, I
There'd
went
be a
dressed as
group of
fucking Jay from
Eshes.
Jay and Silent Bob, you know, so.
for like 5 minutes. But imagine the Eshes in Grand Theft Auto Australia. Like that would be one.
Oh
of the
mate, it'd be
Oh,
too
that'd
real.
be
I
the
couldn't
greatest
handle it.
thing.
I honestly
real.
couldn't play that fucking game. It's too close to real
You'd
life.
have to have a trigger warning at the beginning of the game. Warning. If you're from Western Sydney, this may hurt.
So we wouldn't be able to get it like really realistic, but because
No.
I highly doubt that they'd give the license. Like Nike wouldn't give the license.
No.
For fucking
No.
the bum bag, so it'd be just some generic fucking black one. So it'd be no good.
Second of all, if it was true to Australia, no one has guns. So
that's
like, what do
right.
you do? You just
Oh
be
no,
like, look,
you
this
ask
is
any
all-
Eshe, he knows a guy.
Yeah, he knows the
Alright.
guy.
But that's the whole game. Is
But
following
that's the
Eshes.
game. The
I'll run
game,
through your
yeah,
house, bruh.
is
Me and the boys can run
The
through your
next
house
guy
and then
knows
nothing
a
happens.
guy. You just
yeah,
run
yeah.
through
That's the
and
whole
guys.
game, man. You have to literally go
Very quiet
questing
game.
to get the gun that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you go to the guy that knows a guy who also knows a guy, and
then at the
30,
end,
40
it goes
hours
back to the
in,
first guy.
it goes back to the first guy. It
And then
never
after
ends.
that-
The game never ends.
After that, you
Hmm.
finally crack the shits and just go and steal your Uncle Shoddy.
Or just go and get a license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get a
yeah.
license.
Range.
6 months later, it just cuts to like a fucking, a
6
montage of
months
you going through all the
later.
training and stuff.
6
to get your
months
license.
later.
Alright, now, fill out these forms. It wouldn't be a fun game. It wouldn't be a great game. Let's be honest.
Oh mate, let's make it happen. You can do the fucking music track.
Oh, I know. I gotta play the guy that can play the didge really well. I tell you what, man, that's a weird instrument when it's played really well. It's like hypnotic.
We were
It's
actually
crazy.
talking about it the other day, man. Like what is it, reverse cycle breathing or whatever? Yeah, the reverse cycle breathing or whatever, like where you're breathing in and blowing out at the same time to maintain that sound. It is incredible.
It
Incredible.
takes you to a weird place, like it just that real hypnotized, like it's like weird, like that throat singing kind of instrument where you like, oh, I'm gonna like start tripping balls just naturally right here in the desert. Bop, 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 bop. Really cool.
It is, yeah, incredible.
I think I'd hyperventilate if I tried playing a didgeridoo.
Oh man,
I'd pass
like,
out,
I would
man.
imagine
Like
it'd be easy.
I've tried and I failed.
I am. It's fucking a million degrees in here, dude. I can't handle it.
I'm fucking.
I'm-
Yeah, you look like you're going to pass out.
Do you know
I'm
what you should
slowly
do?
melting. It's literally like 37 degrees in here. I've even got the window.
Shave your head, man, and it could be cool. And
Just
bald.
it'll cool me off. Yeah.
Shave your head right now. Do it.
She's
I
not-
shaved my beard.
That's a
shave your
shame.
beard- shave your head.
Honestly, if I had the clippers, I'd do it, but I can't. I don't think
Yeah.
Ah,
when you
if
finally
I
do it.
had, yeah.
yeah,
When you
if I had
finally do
this,
it, you're gonna be like,
Well,
"Wow."
I know a guy who knows the guy who has some clippers, so.
yeah, hit
shame.
slush up for me. Just give whatever the fuck you use for
A
that.
shave. A shave.
Yeah, from there.
Fish
Yeah,
shave.
fuck, man,
Man,
that's the
the-
new.
Fuck.
that competitive
Toiletries
company to
products for
Manscaped just
Eshes.
like on the keyboard right now. Quick, send them an email. Send them clippers. No, just send them clippers. Finally,
something.
Well,
You
I
got
just
there
checked
in
my
a shirt.
business email. It's there.
is it?
It's there, Manscaped.
Hell yeah.
Manscaped, let's go.
Perfect.
If there's
We'll
any
get
sponsors
Manscaped.
out there, seriousazurabusiness@gmail.com. Hit me up.
And you know he's real, folks. He's got a Gmail.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
Yep. Yep. Only those that are real focused have a Gmail, mate.
Man,
Mhm.
well, I did the .com thing. I did the promo at FierceDeityBand.com thing. for a while because I wanted to come out, like I wanted to debut hard, like full legit, do that whole thing. And I don't know, like I think I've had as more luck doing cold emails to people with the Gmail, to be honest. So maybe you're doing the right thing. Maybe don't spend money on that domain. Does anyone go to any other websites these days anyway? I don't think they do, no.
Why would I? I got Google, I got
Nah.
YouTube, and I got Twitch.
Google, YouTube, and Twitch. That's all you need in life.
That's it.
Forget
Oh,
about
and
it.
occasionally like Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, when you do
guarantee
the
you're a
story.
Bing kind of guy, aren't you, as well?
If I open up the wrong fucking thingamajig, I am. If I open up Microsoft Edge, I just use Bing. I'm fucked.
Azor's the kind of guy
You'd be
who's
off-brand.
already, he's already,
Open up Microsoft Edge.
Gee whiz.
Look,
he's
life's
already
hard, right?
offshored $10,000 for
Look like
fucking
I'm
some
not
guy
selling.
whose uncle's dying, but he'll handsomely pay him $3 million when the fucking payout comes.
What's
Oh,
fun is yeah, I've just opened Bing, and honestly, you get the off-brand things. It makes life more exciting. Why would you want the things that are going to
Yeah, why
improve
would
your
you
life?
want what you want when you ask for it?
Yeah, why would you want efficiency when you could have one of Aussie's? Oh, hang on, it's run away. One of
Tennis news.
Aussie's honest review of HelloFresh. Come on.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah,
Is it? Is that trending?
yep, it is.
We're going to get FierceDeity trending, man. That's what we're going to do.
This
Yeah.
For all the
$39
wrong reasons.
anti-mosquito bracelet hits all sale records.
You on Wish again?
Wow.
No, I'm on.
He's
fucking
on
Microsoft
Wish.
Edge with Bing.
Get on Bing. You're going to end up on a government list.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, I'm already on it. Which one are we talking? Another one. It's a record.
He's already on fucking half of
We're
it.
back to Guinness World Records. I'm going for the record.
Most government records in history.
Most
Yeah,
government
fucking-
Azzureofthewoods.
let's go.
So, what's the next steps for FierceDeity, mate? What can you tell us?
Well, I got the machine up and running now, man. So it's just like a matter of working every day, and like I've got certain goals that I try and get something done every day and whatnot. But in the new year, I'm going to do another single. I wrote a song very quickly, and I just fell in love with it, and I knew exactly which artist I wanted to do the thing. It's all coming together quite quick. So I'll do that early in the year because like it's too late now. No one gives a fuck about things and stuff over the Christmas period. So I'll come back hard in the new year. And then the album next year, I'm going to be taking the Traveller into a perfect dark 64 style futuristic dystopia. He's going to go through a portal and meet a girl there, and she's a terrible influence, and they're basically going to try and set the spirit of rock and roll free. It's going to be a fun rock album where I do all the silly things that I refrained from doing my whole life musically, so to speak. I don't want to have to go on more talk shows and apologize in another 2 years. But yeah, I'm enjoying that because Power Wisdom Courage damn near killed me. So I'm just making fun rock music and just fallen in love with Grant Kirkhope. You guys know that name? He scored Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, Rare. You know, Rare in the late 90s, like, you know. all
Rare
those
in the
guys.
90s, yeah, like Conker's Bad Photo.
Yeah.
and-
He scored a lot of those, and I've just
Good
been
old
listening
Rare.
to Perfect Dark soundtrack, man. It's good stuff, and just want to figure out how he's doing that. That's what it is. That's what like becoming a songwriter is, figuring out how the people that made you feel magic, like how they did it, because it's all magic, it's all sorcery. You just got to learn the spell.
Yep. Yeah,
There's the
right.
next
So what are you going to be streaming next? So you've been streaming a lot of your music, but you've also been streaming a lot of older titles. What's
Yeah,
on the
man,
horizon?
People kept telling me that Wind Waker was the best Zelda, so I went to see what all the fuss was about. And it's fine. It's a good game, but all Zelda games are. Like, it's a good game. I don't know why people say that Ocarina of Time has an empty overworld when in Wind Waker you're literally saying an empty ocean, and you don't even have to. You can play Wind Waker one-handed for most of the time, bro. Like, you just hit the sail, point the wind in the direction, and let it go. So I'm actually looking forward to
My
more
kinda
games of that
game.
era. My kind of game. Don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to do like the original Metal Gear Solid. I'm going to do Majora's Mask, I think, and like tuck into that and actually. I don't know. Do you guys find games and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to really push my channel for this one? Like, you just really vibe on something?
Nah, Darcy never does that.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I played DayZ for 2.5 years. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mate, you just play anything they'll give you to you for free and tell people it's the best thing ever. I've seen your work.
Yeah,
I've
100.
seen your work.
I paid full price for DayZ too, man, back in the day when it was like $75. I got fucking ripped off big time. It was never a $75 game.
$5.
I'm not gonna lie, but I don't actually think
$75
I paid
dues.
for it.
$75 dues. But no, I mean, look, you know, yeah, I've been doing a bit of variety lately, but no, I am in love with a couple of titles, mate, definitely.
Gotta find
But I've been enjoying dropping into your channel, man, and watching you create music as well as playing the older stuff, dude. It's been real cool to watch.
Yeah,
It's exactly what I want to be doing.
Is FierceDeity your Twitch handle as well?
No, I switched my Twitch to good old JB, which was my original name because I wanted to stream deity on YouTube. And you sign the affiliate contract, they own your likeness and everything. I was like, I want to get deity the fuck out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I changed it to good old JB. I don't stream there anymore. Like, I moved over to YouTube. Makes way more sense because I got promo like passive Facebook ad that basically hunts down metalheads and Zelda fans. And they get my ad. It's like FierceDeity, Power, Wisdom, Courage. Oh, I like metal. I like Zelda. This is probably... So I've got that pushing people to the YouTube. So I found myself like having to tell people about Twitch. And they're like, I don't know what it is. I'm like, fuck, this is a waste of time. Like, I just go and stream on YouTube. So I'm one of those... I'm one of the enemy boys I'm one...
Mate, take me with you.
I might make the jump, mate. Yeah, don't worry. Take us with you. Take us with you.
It's the smallest argument you possibly could. I'm with you. Let's go.
Yeah.
Just so I can justify it.
Actually, before I lose train of thought here, a YouTube channel where I kind of get all my information from, Harris Hellier. He's
gaming alpha. Alpha gaming, sorry.
A video that apparently YouTube have just added a bunch of updates. I'm not sure what they are, but we've kind of been waiting for it to just knock over a couple of things that would really...
they have, man. Yes, so gifted subs. Gifted subs are coming out early next year.
YouTube Prime? Do you get any emotes yet? Oh, dude, the YouTube emotes are wild. Like the plain ones, they're so cringy. They're funny.
I think emotes came out not that long ago, man. I think something.
Channels and shit.
I don't think so, no. But man, the normal ones are pretty like usable in a... Like, come on, Dad, stop that. Like, kind of way.
Mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump over to YouTube. That's the exact vibe of my channel.
See what's going on. See if, because it'd just be like, there's so much more people on YouTube. And like I said, my ad runs there. So it just doesn't make sense to try and get people to put another email address in for get them to watch and stuff like that. So I'm much less full of that.
The one-stop YouTube shop.
One-stop thing, man. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's where I do my socials.
Is that?
And you can do status updates and polls. Like they're doing the community thing on YouTube. Like they're evolving and moving, which I like. And I don't pretend to be like up on what's coming and whatnot. I can only guess, but it feels right. Like I said, like I stuck with Twitch for ages, way beyond my gut feeling telling me to just do YouTube. And again, as soon as I start doing what my gut tells me, good things happen.
Yeah. Imagine jumping to a website that actually supports its creators. Oh, spicy.
We're at the other thing
today, aren't we?
Yeah, you don't have to compete with Amaranth. Like, are you kidding? Like, are you guys... Like, if you're new to Twitch, like, what's the first thing to catch your eyes? They're going to come and see fucking Gronk over here? Or are they going to see Amaranth with her red hair and all the heightened colours?
Nondescript man or woman.
It's on the other side of that wall, isn't she?
That's Darcy from the other day with his pop filter again.
I was licking doing some Happy Gilmore. Licking the pop filter.
Hell yeah, man. Think about like the landscape of Twitch. It's kind of like people have found their channels. You know?
It's
established.
To
YouTube's a little bit more of a Wild West.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been around for like double the amount of time and it's still going strong. So
user base is up. Yeah.
Yep.
You want to pinch it there, boys?
Yeah, we'll finish there.
Yep. Sounds good.
That was good. I'm getting in the habit of not letting things like this, like there's like always a really good point where you're like, oh, I feel really good. And then it's generally, that's when it's time to cut it off. There's my advice to anyone listening. Find the
Find that
Quit
happy
while you're
medium.
ahead. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Quit
yeah.
while you're ahead. Yep,
I feel
yep.
good. This is
Yep.
good.
I'll go get the clippers. We can end it with me just fucking going straight
Oh
down the
man,
middle.
honestly,
just
I would
do it?
love you to just
Yeah.
go. Oh, I actually feel
We're not
way
doing
better.
it, boys. We're not doing it. No.
You are. a
You'd
fucking
have to.
pussy.
You need to bribe me some other way.
What about just bullying if you don't do it? What about just how about we don't bully you?
No, no, please don't do that. No.
No,
Okay.
I reckon he's got like
Oh.
he's got one of those kinks, mate. Like when you fucking shame him and stuff like that, he gets turned
Yeah.
on.
It's just that thump from earlier when we started the stream. Just
Yeah.
please
Oh.
don't
Yeah.
do that anymore.
Yeah.
Getting a bit excited.
Yeah,
Tell
right,
me to shave my head.
What was that about happy medium ending while you're ahead? Like,
Yeah. That went out the window. No,
Yeah.
look, thank you
Not
for
2 hours.
joining us there, JB, aka
No,
FierceDeity.
man,
It's been awesome having you on, man.
This was fun. This was really fun. Good group, the best. Great numbers. Good.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, same time next week.
You are well.
yeah.
We'll just
Fuck that. We'll have some
No,
organisation by then.
Yep,
Literally
yep.
anything discussed.
And man,
Yeah.
when you just all look at each other and know it's time to have me back, just have me back anytime. Just be like, hey, let's have him back.
All right. Hit that
Done.
end stream and then start again.
Well, this was actually a test, man. This was a trial. So now we're actually just going to do like Tuesdays with Angry Oz Gamers, and you're actually you're yeah, no, it was all fake. It was all fake. I've actually got a red and blue pill for you, man. I just need you to take one of the pills. Yeah.
Which one's
you
the
shouldn't
good
be
one?
marketing ping.
I actually don't know, man. I mixed them up. I picked them up on the corner the other day, and I've mixed them up, mate. I don't know.
He picked it up
Just gotta
at
give you a
the,
pill.
old
You'll
man
figure
or
it out.
Oh, I can't say that.
Shame.
Two pills for you, bar.
And that's the game.
Quitting while you're ahead.
Pop, 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 pop. Blip, blip.
Oh shit. But no,
Yeah,
it
one
has been
thing-
awesome, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It was a good chat. It was nice to hello. Digital Ghost.
Yeah, stream can't say
happening?
that, but hello, mini
I
Gronkie.
I can't see what I'm in reference to.
Gronkie's gone out. Yeah.
Digital ghost.
Oh, awesome. Well, it's good having you on, mate. Thank you very much for joining us, dude. That was our first ever podcast, so it was nice to just have a chill one, man.
Yeah.
Only one way to go from here, and
Only way is up.
I'll
hit you up
yeah.
when I start my game development, all right?
Yeah,
Do the
dude.
track
And
for me.
remember, you're gonna die.
Yeah, that's all you got to remember.
Oh, mate,
All right,
that's-
guys. Look, we'll round out the podcast with FierceDeity's first title song "Power" from the new album "Power, Wisdom, Courage," which we'll post the links below, and we'll post the links all over the place, guys. So this is FierceDeity's album "Power, Wisdom, Courage," and this was the first ever Angry Aussie Gamers. Well, it's actually the second. We'll call it the first ever podcast.
Yeah,
Much love, guys. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, the first one didn't really happen, did it?
What should our sign out be? Should it be thank you, fuck you, and goodbye?
Yeah, whatever you want it to be, mate. Bye.
Catch you later, you ugly cunt.
See ya, mate.